FOJ 56. Jason, what's up?
Not much, man. Jeff, how are you?
First place, baby.
How about it? And not just in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in the division, right? As of today, tops in the conference.
November 30th. They are
Thanks
the
to a
number one
tiebreaker.
seed in the all of the NFC. I mean, who saw this coming?
I don't think anybody did. I think we all hoped, but I don't think we thought this was in play this year at all.
No. And I'm still kind of in shock. Like, I'm waiting for the other, shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the floor to fall through. I'm waiting for the Bears to Bears and just, you know, do it to me. But we haven't talked in a couple weeks. And, the last game they had, they went it on a field goal at the end. And it's like every game is like waiting to exhale.
Yeah.
And then you go into the Philadelphia Eagles and you run right over them, through them, around them, just manslaughter of a game from a rushing perspective.
Yeah, I guess they kind of took running down their throat to a whole new level. First time in, I think, 40 years that they've had two running backs go over 100 yards in the same game.
Yeah, and not with you know, a ton of carries to take them there.
No.
One guy's got 22 carries for 130 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 125 yards and a touchdown. Both averaged 6 and 7 yards a carry. They ran the ball 47 times for 281 yards, averaged 6 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns.
The funny thing is, I thought they could have actually run the ball even more. Like, there were times where they went back to pass, and I'm like, run the ball. What? It's working. Why are you dropping back to pass? Because obviously it was a tough day to throw. It was windy. Things were, guys were slipping, all that stuff. Caleb didn't have a great day statistically. I don't know if it was due to the wind. He had some overthrows again. I don't know if they were due to the wind or whatever, but obviously not an ideal day to pass. And they could have run the ball 60 times, and it probably still would have worked. Hey, somebody's home.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's one of the dogs barking at the moon or the bears or the leaves or whatever. So
Love
I'm
it.
solo parent right now.
Love it.
So, we'll see what happens here. All right. Doors closed. Shut up, dogs. We got bears to talk about.
That's right.
Yeah, Caleb again, really shitty on the accuracy, less than 50% passing. Touchdown, interception, but that dime he threw to Cole Kmet for the touchdown was fantastic. Again, it's kind of like shades of brilliance, but man, I wish he was just more consistent.
One of his probably top 5 throws of the year, to be honest with you. I mean, on the run, running to his left, just led Kmet perfectly. I mean, it just shows you what he's capable of, right? He's capable of being great. And we see bits and pieces, and it just makes you wonder, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take until he gets there? So, but hey, right now, really all they need him to do is manage the game. At least that's how it seems, because that's how they're winning. Is them managing the game and getting to the fourth quarter and winning games that way. But I'll tell you what, they dominated the Eagles start to finish. Eagles couldn't do anything.
Yeah, the score was closer than it looked, but man, with that ground attack, they controlled the clock.
Yeah.
Philly is still really good. And to hold them to 15 points, there's a couple of extra point tries that probably shouldn't have been there. Would have maybe changed the end of the game, that kind of thing. And AJ Brown is still really good.
Yes.
But they bottled up Saquon Barkley. I mean, he only had 13 carries for 56 yards, didn't score. He didn't have any catches at all. So, they I think they were calculated and said, we're going to focus on Barkley. And I think a lot of teams are picking up on that to stop, him. And they solved the the dastardly tush push by was it Nahshon Wright running in there and taking the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands, 4th and 1, and getting a fumble
I'll tell you what,
recovery.
I still don't think he's all that great in coverage, but the dude is just a turnover maniac, man. I mean, he causes fumbles. I think he had a pick against Pittsburgh. He just what is it? I think he's had 5 interceptions now, which I think is second only to Byard in the NFL.
Yeah.
And just, that I mean, that fumble on the, or I should say the takeaway fumble on the tush push, that that changed the entire game. That basically solidified the game actually, because Philly was rolling, and that's like their play. I mean, in the NFL, anybody who can execute that play, it's the Eagles. They always get it, and he just went in there and ripped that shit right out of there. And man, it was just even the guys that were calling the game were like, "Whoa." I've never seen anybody take the ball away from Jalen Hurts because he's so damn strong. But
Yeah. Well, when you're in the middle of that scrum, right, and you're focused on pushing forward, that's probably the opportune time where you're somewhat distracted and want to pull it away. I think I
yeah,
saw a headline somewhere that was like, basically the tune of like the Bears finally solved how to stop the tush push. And I
yeah,
guess that's one way. Now, I don't think you can do that every play is causes a strip sack slash fumble on a play
right.
like that. But yeah, I mean, hats off to Nahshon Wright. He did, let the touchdown go by him with the throw to AJ Brown, which it just wasn't good coverage at that point. But yeah, on the year, 5 interceptions. He's got a forced fumble. He's got 3 fumble recoveries, and he's got a touchdown. I mean, I'll take that
Yeah, yeah. For a
for what's
guy
he
who
supposed to be
was
like our third corner.
Yeah, for a guy who's actually, I think he's corner 4
Mhm.
because he probably began the year behind Terrell Smith.
Yeah, you're
But,
probably right.
JJ goes down, Stevenson goes down, Terrell Smith goes down, and Wright's been there all year, really. And like I said, while he has some issues in just pure coverage, I mean, he comes up big when they need it most. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
just and what honestly, what else could you ask of his defense? And I know we bitch about pass rush and all that stuff, but the second game in a row, all 3 of their starting linebackers are out, and it doesn't matter. I mean, DeMarco Jackson comes in wearing a green dot. Only I think now the 3rd game he's ever worn that in his career, and calling defenses and all that stuff. And I don't know how many tackles he had.
he had 2. 2
Okay,
solo, 6 and 3 assists, so 5
okay,
total.
so 5 tackles. I think he had 15 against the Steelers, which
Yeah.
is nuts. So
It was a group effort though on the defense. Nobody
for
had more
sure.
than 6 tackles. Brisker and Byard had 6, Nahshon Wright had 5, and DeMarco Jackson had 5. There wasn't a tackle machine like you look over at the other side. You had Reed Blankenship with 14 and Nakobe Dean with 12.
Right.
I don't. This is the epitome of a team defense. And man, when they win that turnover battle, they're doing enough to win those games that over the last few years that we're like, yeah, we're not going to win those.
Well, buddy of mine said, "Hey, if they score 24 points on the Eagles, they'll win," and that's what happened. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're really
how could you
just,
got to be thrilled? You got to be absolutely over the moon thrilled if you're a Bears fan right now.
I mean, I'm excited. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's like my brain can't process it.
Well, we talked and said, okay, when they were what 7-3 or whatever it was, when they were going into the Pittsburgh game, we were like, okay,
Yeah, now's when
maybe
it gets hard.
now is when it gets tough. And then everybody was like, okay, look at the schedule that they've played. Now, hey, you play the schedule you're given. It is what it is. Okay. And what is it? Parcells said, you're as good as your schedule says you are, or your record says you are. So yeah, at that point they were 7-3 or whatever it was. They go to Pittsburgh or they play Pittsburgh. It's a decent game. They played well. They come out and they win. Okay. Now you're 8-3. It's like, okay, you beat a winning team, but now you got to play the Eagles. And now it's like, okay, the truth is going to come out. You went out and I'm sorry. I feel like they dominated that game. I really from the trenches. I mean, offensive line. You cannot say enough about the offensive line in that game. Now you're 9-3 atop the conference. You beat the Super Bowl champs at their stadium in Philadelphia. It's a tough ass place to play. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
On a windy ass day that just, you didn't know what you were going to get. Caleb does just enough. He made a couple throws when he had to, but the running game was off the charts. And now here we are sitting atop the conference at 9-3 because the Rams got upset today. So
yeah,
unbelievable.
I was a big Carolina fan today watching that. I was like, oh my gosh, Carolina's going to beat the Rams. As good as the Rams have looked for the last, 2 months. And then when Stafford throws 2 interceptions in that game, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is Carolina for real?
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So Bryce Young is what, in his 3rd year, I think it is?
Yeah, I think it's his 3rd.
So has he turned the corner a little bit? I think you have to say, yeah, he had 3 touchdown passes today.
Yeah, I don't know how you could argue it differently. I mean, yeah, he had a terrible first year. He got benched that for a while, and maybe that was good for him.
And everybody thought CJ Stroud would have been the better pick, but 3 years later, basically 2.5 years later, who would you rather have, Stroud or Young?
I don't know. That's pretty tough. I mean, Bryce had a strong game today, 15 of 20, 206 and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. CJ Stroud also, I think they won. They beat Indianapolis.
Okay.
That's a tough one. I don't know because every situation is different. This is kind of like, it doesn't matter who the Bears are going to pick. They're going to mess it up. And, look, Carolina traded away a bunch of players when they brought in Bryce Young.
They did.
Thanks for DJ Moore. Thanks again to them today for beating the Rams and giving the Bears, the top seed. So Carolina is almost like the gift that keeps on giving. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to trust Bryce Young yet, but it's a great story, and I'd like to see where he keeps going from here.
I guess my point is because you saw, Stroud play well from the beginning. You saw Jaden Daniels play well from the beginning. You're seeing Bryce Young here in his 3rd year maybe take a step. And I guess, again, that's where I hold out hope for Caleb, that for some of these guys, it maybe just takes a little bit longer to get everything, get the pro game down and all that stuff. And, don't get me wrong. I think Caleb's had a pretty good year. He's not why they're winning. That's for sure. But he's also not losing games for them either, which is thankful, I think you have to hold out hope that he's just going to keep getting a little bit better. And yeah, he turned the ball over. Yeah, the interception was terrible. It was awful. He basically threw it right to him when with a little touch and a little more height on the pass. That's probably a 10, 15-yard gain, but I still think he's definitely the guy. I don't think that there is a question anymore that he's not the guy. I think he is the guy for sure for long term.
Yeah, I can't see how you would get behind anyone else on the team right now.
No,
and I'm looking at your stats, and Bryce Young and Caleb Williams have pretty similar stats.
Right.
Caleb's got more yards, but less completion percentage, and flip flop it the other way with Bryce Young, but a better completion percentage, less yards, few more interceptions as well.
Everybody has a better completion percentage than Caleb does, but
yeah,
that's the one thing I know. And
I mean, teams are going to figure that out though, and force Caleb to be accurate with the football
to beat them. Yes.
Yeah. If you sell out and you put 8 men in the box, that is prime Caleb Williams tense, right? He shows he's got the talent, right? He can go and throw 4 touchdowns like he did earlier this year.
Right.
But that completion percentage also opens up interceptions, stalled drives, and all kinds of stuff. So as much as I enjoy the Bears being on top, which I can't remember the last time. I don't know if I've ever said that because, they've been so bad for so long. I still feel like Caleb, to some degree, is almost holding them back from being truly explosive.
I agree. I'm not saying he's the weakest link, but he is a weak link on the team overall. That doesn't mean he's bad.
Right.
But I think he's the one who's got to come along, or he's got the furthest to go to where they're at right now. You know, um, will he get there by the end of this year? I don't know. Who knows? But
I mean, we're 12 games into it,
right,
and he's still below 60% from a passing perspective,
right.
passing standpoint, accuracy. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he's only got, what, 5 games left that you can, or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left that he can, raise that. But out of the body of work we've seen so far, he's not accurate.
No. And
And
let's
it's not
face
like
it,
it's going to get easier because the weather gets worse.
weather gets
Chicago as you go on.
worse, and you still got 2 with the Packers, 1 with the Lions, 1 with the Steelers, and the Browns are the Browns and whatever.
Yeah.
But
You got Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, Lions. That's who you've got left over.
So 4 of those 5 games are going to be tough, no doubt
Mhm.
about it. So if you want to hang on to this top seed, you gotta play near perfect football. So
Yeah. I mean, if Caleb had a, let's call it 65% accuracy, which is attainable, I feel like that gives them a little more margin for error, and they don't have to rely on their offense or on their defense getting turnovers.
Mhm.
They don't have to count on 2 100-yard rushers coming out of their backfield, which
yeah,
never happens, right? To be honest, but you know, they have been strong in the ground game ever since the bye week,
for sure.
for the most part. But if Caleb can take that step, and I'd love to see him hit a game where he's at like 70, 75%. And
Yeah,
doesn't have to throw for wires, but be accurate, get the ball out quickly, blah, blah, blah. I think that just gives them so much more room for error. And then this offense is really going to take off.
I think we're waiting for that, 27 for 33 game,
Mhm.
310 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks. That's the type of game we're waiting on.
Yeah.
So, you know, and without a sack or any of that stuff. So, and even if he took a sack, whatever,
Who cares? A sack is fine
yes,
sometimes. Like
sometimes, yeah,
it's going to happen, and you'd
right,
rather have him do that than, fumble or throw an interception or something crazy, right? That is a low percentage play. Take the L and get it the next down or the next drive, whatever that looks
right.
like.
So,
He's got to learn to throw the ball away. He's still doing too much dancing behind the behind the line.
yes,
It's almost like his trademark is 3-step drop, feel the pressure, and then spin one way or the other
yeah,
and roll out. Like that's it. It's almost like that's every single play.
yeah. Every once in a while, he'll take that 5-step drop, plant his foot, and then let it go.
Mhm.
And it's like, why can't we see more of that? Like, I think there was a 3rd down play down near the goal line, uh, about a 5-yard pass to DJ Moore, where he just took it out from under center, boom, 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 snap, throw, boom, bingo. It's like the ball was out in like a second and a half. It's like,
Yeah.
why can't we have more of that? More true West Coast style. I'm not looking for him to go down the field 40 yards or, even 20 yards, but give me those 15-yard, plays over the middle or, the crossing routes or whatever. Give me more of that instead of these wide receiver screen bullshit plays that they do sometimes. Those plays I hate. And I know you hate them too.
Oh, despise them. Yeah,
Yeah.
let your playmakers make plays. Get the ball out of your hands
Yes.
and into their hands and let them run with it and get it, and put it in a position where they can actually run with it. They're not reaching across their body or high or, behind them, right? Things like that. Like just give a nice, easy lob in front of them and let them do the work.
So the Pro Bowl voting started, I think, this week. Do you think the Bears have a Pro Bowler this year? It's been a while.
Um,
Like, do you think a Kevin Byard, who leads the league in interceptions, is a Pro Bowler?
that's what I was thinking. Like it's maybe like a Byard,
Maybe 1 or
maybe
2 of
some
the
on the offensive lineman line.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a Tooney or a Dahlman or,
Hmm.
you know, Jonah Jackson even. I mean, some are even saying maybe even Darnell Wright. I still think he gets penalized a little too often, but he also pancakes people. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see because I don't know if there's necessarily like a standout performer.
right.
They're just a really good team unit right now. That is, it's like Neo. They're starting to believe.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it sure is fun to watch and pay attention to and think about what they're capable of. Because I think at 9-3, I think they're at the point where they're making the playoffs. I think it's like above a 75% chance right now. They would really have to tank. And I don't see this team tanking that hard to not make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah. I'm not going to count playoffs until they count. So we'll see what happens. I'm cautiously
Playoffs.
optimistic. Right. Let's make it to the playoffs first, and then let's see what happens. But congratulations to the Bears with the victory this week. Finally puts them into the plus column for differential. They're now a +6 on the season. So there you go.
They've also clinched a winning season for the first time, I think, since like 18, I think it was, something like that. I think they went 12-4 in like Nagy's first or second season. I can't remember, but it's been a while. It's been a while since they finished above 500.
Yeah.
And here, I'll throw another one at you. Is Ben Johnson the favorite right now for Coach of the Year?
I don't know who else you would even remotely pick.
I'm right there with you. I think
like who else even has a chance? Maybe the Colts.
Maybe the only other two, and I don't know what Denver's doing tonight. I know they're playing the Commanders right now.
But they're 7-6 right now. I think they are losing, but I'll tell you in a second.
They're 9-2. So that would be Sean Payton, and then New England is 10-2?
Yeah, New England is 10-2.
Okay, so that would be Vrabel.
Vrabel, I can see another one is a
so
potential
those two
option.
may have a case because those two teams are also playing with second-year quarterbacks.
Yeah. It's 7-6 Washington at the moment. So.
Okay. Mariota.
New England, I think, was pegged to be decent. And Denver was also pegged to be good because of the strength of their defense. The Bears were not pegged to be anything. They are in a division where they were expected to be, fourth place,
probably fourth,
sitting behind the Packers, the Lions, and Minnesota. And Minnesota has clearly made the wrong QB choice, letting Darnold walk away.
Yeah, boy. Ugh.
And has really, set back their team quite a bit. McCarthy didn't play today. Was it injury or just he sucks?
Oh, I have no idea who did play because
it was their backup guy.
What's his face? Carson Wentz is out for the year, so whoever replaced him as the backup,
It was some undrafted guy who threw 4 interceptions, and they never had a chance in that game.
Oh, then my guess McCarthy was hurt, and if he's hurt again, then that's a problem in itself because that's his third injury.
Max Brosmer, 19-30, 126 yards, 4 interceptions, and sacked 4 times.
Yeah, I have no idea who Max Brosmer even is, so
I don't think Max Brosmer knows who he is. But you're right about McCarthy. Like I was looking around and I meant to look it up earlier to see why he didn't play today. But if it's another injury, he's missed time twice this year now.
Missed all of last year.
And he sucked this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, okay. So the Vikings are what now? 4-7?
They are 4-8.
Okay, they're 4-8. So they're probably going to be picking near the top of the draft. Do they bail on McCarthy this early?
Has he shown you anything?
I would say no.
I would say no as well. I saw a crazy stat earlier this week that was like JJ McCarthy's quarterback rating is worse than if you were to just spike the ball 4 downs in a row every play.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that, but it was something to that effect. Like Literally, you could do nothing and have a better quarterback rating than what he has right now on the season.
Look, I know they won the national title with him at quarterback at Michigan. I know, he was decent, but Michigan ran the ball more than anything. And he averaged, I don't know, less than 20, right around 20 passes a game for them. So it wasn't anything spectacular. I thought drafting him that high was a stretch to begin with. And now it's proving that drafting him that high was a mistake.
And he was out, by the way, for concussion protocol.
No. Okay. Well, that's hard to argue with. You can't really necessarily blame him on that, depending on what the play was.
Okay, so this was a week ago. Craziest stat of the day. JJ McCarthy would have had a higher passer rating if he would have spiked the ball on every play versus what he actually did. If you spike the ball on every play, you have a 39.6 rating. His rating in the last game was 34.2.
Yeah. I don't know how you fix that guy. I mean, I understand this is essentially his rookie year. I understand he started really only a handful of games, but he had all year last year to watch. And, I just, how long is Minnesota going to put up with that? The division is moving away from them.
Yeah.
And the longer they, it's like the Bears are getting better. The Lions are good. The Packers are good. The Lions and Packers are going to be good for the foreseeable future. The Bears are ascending. I don't know if they're there yet, but as of right now, they are. And they're just going to leave the Vikings in their dust. And pretty soon it's the Vikings that are going to be going 0-6 in the division every year. So how long can you wait?
I don't think they can wait any longer.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of him to know that he's not the answer.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson's not getting any younger.
No. If I'm
Jordan
Justin
Addison's
Jefferson, I'm pissed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I'm looking at quarterbacks this year. I don't know what's available. I mean, it might not be necessarily a fair deal for JJ McCarthy, but you got to be healthy, you got to be on the field, and then when you're on the field, you got to produce. And
it's the NFL.
There's nothing that has led me to believe that he is a franchise quarterback for them, so that makes him expendable.
Yeah. Hey, JJ, life's not fair, and the NFL certainly isn't fair in a lot of ways. So I remember when Trent Green got hurt for the St. Louis Rams, and they never said you could lose your job to injury, but Kurt Warner took that thing and ran it all the way to the Hall of Fame. So it happens.
Drew Bledsoe lost a spleen or something. So
that's right. And
here comes
some
Tom
young dude named Tom Brady, some 6th-round pick named Tom Brady came along.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, JJ. It's not working out for you here. Maybe go find somewhere else and maybe try to resurrect your career somewhere else. But I don't see it.
Yeah. I don't either. Another guy we need to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Another guy we need to talk about maybe certain awards at the end of the year. And this guy has been dogged in Chicago left and right, and for good reason. But how about the offseason Ryan Poles has had?
I mean, hard to argue against.
I mean, okay, your 1st-round pick, Loveland, is turning into what everybody thought he could be, right? Stud tight end. And I think that they're going to continue to use him more. Luther Burden, I think, has the potential to be a star in the NFL. If they start to use him more, again, he's overtaken Zacchaeus as wide receiver 3. So that's a good thing. The guy catches almost everything, and he is hard as hell to bring down. You've now seen 2 games of Ozzie Trapillo at left tackle. And everybody said, well, he's not a left tackle. The guy hasn't given up a damn thing as far as a sack, a pressure, nothing. He has manhandled whoever, and was as big a part of the running game the other day as anybody. So he's now not a problem. And what's becoming the steal of the draft is Kyle Monangai in the 7th round out of Rutgers. Check out his stats next to Alshon, or what's his name? Ashton
Jenney.
Yeah. They're very similar. And Ashton Jenney was the number 6 pick in the draft. And we got Monangai 2 days later in the 7th round. And I remember when everybody was yelling at the Bears, take Genty if you can get him, trade up to get him. And they didn't do that, and a lot of people freaked out. And we said, take a running back. And they waited all the way to the 7th round, and look what that guy's giving them. Nobody would have saw that. Nobody would have foreseen that happening.
Yeah. Nahshon Genty's 604 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 3.6. And Manungai has 591 yards, averaging 4.9 and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah. Now, the difference is the passing game. Nahshon's got way more touches. He's got like 4 times as many, 40 to like
for
10.
Sure. For sure. And then...
And the rest of the Raiders also suck.
That's true.
So there's that too.
Except for Bowers. Brock
Bowers is good. Yeah.
And we'll get to him in a minute because the guy just rules my fantasy team when he plays. But anyway, then you talk about how they traded for Joe Thuney, they signed Drew Dalman, and they traded for Jonah Jackson, rebuilt the entire offensive line in one season, and look what it's giving them. Arguably the top rushing attack in all of football. They almost have the top offense since the bye week, offense period, which is just incredible and an amazing job by the front office. And I think Ben Johnson obviously had a lot to do with that. I think he said, look, I need these guys, but for Poles to go get them and make it happen and get them in and get them extended beyond this year, phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Can't be understated. So
no, let's give credit where credit is due. How much is it of Poles, the scouts, and like I said, Ben Johnson saying, "Here's the players that I want. Go get them."
Yeah, I think it's all of it. I think it's all 3. So good stuff, man. It's just fun. It's just fun.
It feels so weird. It just feels boring. It does. Like, what's happening here?
Because here it is. We shit on this team, and we shit on the coach, and we shit on the GM, and we wait for it to, like you said, the other shoe to drop, and it just hasn't yet. Mm-hmm. It's like we're on this magic carpet ride that hasn't stopped yet. And hopefully it doesn't. I mean, I think we all know that, I was talking to my son earlier today. I don't think they're Super Bowl ready yet. But who knows? The way they're playing right now, I mean, the sky's the limit. It really is.
Yeah. Well, there's, as of today, November 30th, there are 5 teams that have officially been eliminated from playoffs.
Wow.
So we're already to that part of the season, right, where teams are just saying to make it. Of course, the Tennessee Titans are 1-11. They're not making it. The Giants are 2-10. The New Orleans Saints are 2-10, and the Raiders are 2-10. They're not making it. And the Arizona Cardinals at 3-9 have been eliminated as well.
The funny thing is about that, I think it was yesterday, on Friday, they showed the AFC playoff picture, and they still listed the Cleveland Browns, who at the time were 3-8, as being in the hunt.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Not eliminated are the Cleveland Browns at 3-9 and the New York Jets at 3-9 and the Washington Commanders at 3-8. None of those teams have been eliminated yet, but you just know they're about to go out the door.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. But hey, hats off to the Jets, man, because if I recall, they were 0-7. So that means they're 3-2 in their last 5. So,
Yeah, Jets playing hard, man. Getting some wins. Well, when it doesn't matter anymore.
You throw Tyrod in there, good things happen. JF7. Not good.
What did they do? They won on a last-second field goal today, was it? I think it was towards the end of the game.
Okay.
27-24. Kirk Cousins falls again. Bijan Robinson puts up huge numbers again, 142 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, Jets win. And who else won? Texans won also on a kind of a close one too.
Okay.
So Daniel Jones plays with a broken leg today.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Wearing a custom 3D printed cast that his college roommate made for him.
Really?
So, the marriage of technology and sports is, yes, you just heard it, a custom 3D printed cast was made for him with the help of his college roommate, and he played on it. Now, he did not have a great game. Obviously, they lost, but just to go out there and play an NFL game and go 14 of 27, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns with a broken freaking leg. Come on, man.
So wait a minute. Oh, okay. What part of the leg did he break? Do you know?
Tibia, I think. Let me look it up. Yeah, I think it's a tibia.
It's just a fracture or
fibula fracture.
Fibula fracture. So I think that the fibula is what, the back part of your lower leg. Is that right?
Yeah, if I recall, it is the
Or is
it's
it
the
the front?
outside bone.
The outside bone on the bottom part, like below the knee.
Yes. Which I guess if you're gonna fracture something, that's better than
yeah, like the
something
shin,
else. But
the
still,
front part. But holy moly! Does it say which leg? Like it matters.
I don't recall which one.
Well, I'm trying to. Yeah, it kind of does matter because because if you're going back to throw, the right leg is the one you plant.
Right.
So that I would think that's the one you really need to be strong on because as you're coming back, that's the one you just stick in the ground and then drive forward off of. So, but hell, even if it's your left leg, oh wow, that's amazing. That is amazing to me.
Yeah. I mean, comeback player of the year at this point.
I think again, there's no doubt. Who else could it be?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, so let me look this up because I heard one thing say he was wearing a 3D cast, but he's not necessarily wearing one. So I'm gonna have to go back and retract that statement.
Well, whatever the hell he's wearing, whatever
Yeah.
allowed him to play today, that's incredible.
Yeah, he's playing through the injury, and doctors are confident that it won't be made worse by playing.
Okay.
It's be made better. So, okay.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep. I mean, I've fractured my fibula before, and I don't know what he's got, but I was out for like 3 months, couldn't walk on it.
Yeah, I've never fractured anything, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, I broke mine playing flag football
Okay.
in Bolingbrook. I don't know what happened. We were down and we were going through the touchdown, I think, to either tie or win the game. And for some crazy reason, they threw the ball to me. And I went, it was a low throw. It was a bad throw. It was short. So I was coming back to the pylon on the right hand side. And this is the flag league that Chad and I played in on every like Sunday
Okay.
for a while. And I dove down for the ball and it was way short. So it skipped. But two guys who were much larger than me both like jumped on top of me and like landed on my leg.
Ooh.
And I didn't know it was broken at the time. I thought I had just like twisted my ankle or something at that point and kind of like hobbled off the field, drove home. And then, I think it was the next day, my girlfriend at the time, like somehow she like kicked me in the leg, saying I was faking or something like that because I just wanted to play video games. And it was just a sudden jolt went through me. And I remember calling Chad. I was like, hey, I need you to take me to the doctor and
Yeah.
get this looked at. And yeah, broken leg and torn up ankle and all kinds of stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst thing I've ever done is sprain an ankle. So I have no idea how bad that is, but
And I was in a cast for 3 months, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had just started at Sullivan's, so I couldn't work. So it's like I'm not gonna be able to come to work for the next 3 months. I have a broken leg.
So, why don't I remember that? Because I mean, we knew each other then. I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
I
Wow.
don't know. Yeah.
Hmm.
Chad's one who drove me to the doctor. So,
Well,
you live and you learn. Flag football. That was a very aggressive flag football league because we had people leave with concussions and bloody noses and
oh yeah.
broken legs like me, and we were not very good. I think we were like, a 500 at best football team, but I did kick a game-winning field goal in the ice one time, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
I remember the quarterback. I don't remember his name, but he was also our holder, and
Uh-huh.
he's like, "Don't worry." He's like, "No pressure." if you make this, we lose and we don't go to the playoffs. I was like, okay, thanks. I kicked the field goal 3 degrees. But yeah, that was my highlight.
How far was the field goal?
It wasn't that far. I want to say maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Okay, well, still.
Yeah. No, it was a chip shot by standards.
Hey, you still got to make the kick, man. It's not like Cairo was out there. That's it's a guy who doesn't normally do this.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that game where I broke my leg was the last time I ever played. I was having a coming out party that game too. I had like 7 or 8 catches, about 100 yards, and was somehow they were just starting throwing the ball at me, and I just found myself open all the time, and they went to me at the end, and that was the last game I ever played.
So you had an AJ Brown, Jamar Chase like day, and then
I did. I had a really good game. It's probably my best, from a stats perspective, because I was usually like running back / tight end, which you know me. I'm not a tight end. More of a slot receiver, let's call it, or maybe a Darren Sproles.
I was going to say you were a Sproles type, sure.
Right, yeah. But for whatever in that reason, I was crossing routes over the middle. This other team just couldn't figure out how to defend it, and so I was snagging stuff left and right coming off that.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was it. That was my career.
It's best to go out on top, so that's good.
Yeah, well, I remember limping off the field, like, oh, that fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh man.
And getting in my car, and I'm not sure how I drove home because it was my right leg too.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't hurt as long as I kept it still.
Okay. It's like every once in a while you got to hit the brake. It's like, oh man.
Yeah. Noah, you live anywhere.
Definitely.
So anyway, shout out to Daniel Jones. I know what you're playing through, buddy.
Jeff can relate to Daniel Jones.
That's right. He and I, we share similar stories, from a injury standpoint.
Kindred spirits for sure.
Yep.
Well, Daniel, if you need some support, give Jeff a call because he's there. He's been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the best rehab was playing EverQuest for 3 months. So there you go. So it worked for me. Thumbs up. Get out there and get that rehab done.
Yeah, nice. That's funny. That's funny.
I didn't watch. I watched barely any football this Sunday, because I just didn't care, because I was like, all right, the Bears won. I'm done. I kind of had Red Zone on. It was kind of fun. Once I realized that Carolina actually had a chance to beat the Rams, but I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of followed that. But other than that, today was didn't do anything day.
So we had baseball practice this morning at the local high school. And
baseball, it's November 30th.
I know. We've been there for 4 weeks now, believe it or not. Just once a week, doing indoor stuff and things like that. So, but it's funny that one of the coaches asked if they're like, "Are you upset that the Bears aren't playing today?" And I thought about it. I'm like, I kind of am, but I'm knowing that they already got their win and who they beat and where they're at. I'm okay with it. I can handle it. So I got home and we had the worst November snowstorm that Chicago's had in about 30 years.
Jeez.
On Saturday. It started snowing about 3 a.m. on Saturday, and it snowed all day long until about 6 o'clock this morning today.
That thick, heavy Chicago snow?
Yeah, we got about, I bet you when all was said and done, close to 10 inches. So a fair amount.
Okay.
Well, Gwig's Details, a.k.a. my son's detail business, became Gwig's Snow Removal. So, and he advertised, like, this has been forecasted for about a week now. So he advertised to put a nice social media post, Facebook, AI generated snow removal ad together, posted it. Hey, I'm ready to go. Text me your address. I'll charge you X amount of dollars, whatever. And then he was also, the past 4 years, he's worked for like a landscape company doing snow removal. And it's just kind of whenever they're on call, he goes out. So between his business and the snow removal, he worked, from about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. He went out, shoveled some stuff, came home at about 4, went back out at 7 to work for this landscape company, worked all night long, got home at 7, went to bed, got back up at 9 o'clock, and did driveways today until it got dark around 4:45. So I think we counted, and after baseball practice, this will explain why I didn't watch any football today. So I texted him. I'm like, "How many driveways do you have lined up?" And he's like, "I have a lot." And I said, "Do you want some help?" He's like, and he gave me the, "If you don't mind, I'll
Yeah.
take it." Like, instead of saying, "Yeah, I need your help," it was "If you don't mind, if you have time." I had nothing going on today. Bears weren't playing. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come help you." So he's like, "Cool, I'll come pick you up." So he came back to the house, picked me up. I think the two of us did like 8 driveways today, and all of them by hand. No snowblower, nothing.
Dude, that's a young man's game. You
I
gotta be
know.
careful.
I
A
was
man of your advanced age, that's hard tech city.
I told him, I said, "Listen," I go, I'll help you, but I said, "I'm not gonna move all fast. This isn't about speed."
Mhm.
And I said, "You're gonna do the tough stuff down by the edge of the driveway where the plows have come. I'll clear the powder at the top, no problem." And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine, no problem." So we did that, and you're right. I mean, if you get going fast enough, you could feel it. Your heart is pumping. So I was cognizant of that. So I just, stayed at a nice, easy pace. And other than the fact that I'm probably going to be a little sore tomorrow, it was fine. I had no issue, and it was good. So he's probably, between the landscape company and all the driveways he did, I think he's walking away with about $700 in a little over 24 hours worth of work.
Or snow.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah, that's what I said. But
See, he
the
needs to get like a machine
well,
and, you know, snowblow
we
that shit.
we have a snowblower that we got from a neighbor who moved to Florida. He's like, "I don't need this anymore. Why don't you just take it?" So I haven't started it up. So this week, that is the plan, is to get that thing out of my shed, start it up, and get it going. So the next storm that comes, then we'll deploy the snowblower, and things will go a lot smoother. But yeah, so yeah, I spent about 6.5 hours shoveling driveways today. That's what I did.
Yeah, you're gonna be sore tomorrow.
A little bit, little bit.
Yeah, when I moved to North Carolina, I left my snowblower behind. The guy who bought our house wanted it. It's like, sure. But we had this awesome fully electric one
Okay.
that was a beast. It was this thing by Ego, and
Oh yeah,
that thing chewed through everything that we threw at it. And, it had these 2 like reactor batteries that you'd put into it.
yeah.
And that thing was awesome. Didn't have to worry about, oil and gas and, all that stuff. You just pop in the batteries and go. And
Ego
that thing
makes
was a
really
beast.
good. Ego makes really good stuff.
Yeah. Haven't had a need for it here.
Nice, nice.
Although
So
we are about to hit a cold snap, I think, here. It's 39 degrees right now. And we might get down to 31. No,
right,
26 on Monday.
yeah, we are. I think 20s and low 30s pretty much all week this week.
Yeah. Well, I'm headed to
So
Minneapolis Tuesday,
oh
which is not a great idea
no,
considering, let me check the weather. It was going to be, yeah, single digits.
Mm.
I'm flying in Tuesday, flying out Thursday, and I'll be there all day Wednesday, a low of 3 degrees.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I'm supposed to be taking some guys out to Top Golf.
Oh god.
So I did this, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. And we
Uh,
went out to Top Golf in the middle of December and it was cold, but we actually got warm under the heat lamps that they have
yes.
out there. And so I'm kind of hoping that will be the case again, but I'm expecting like, the 4 or 5 or 6 of us that'll be out there. trying to figure out whether or not we still want to go to Top Golf or just do something else.
I've been to that Top Golf. That's a nice one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Top Golf. You swing the clubs, you eat the bar food, and get the drinks, and
Yeah, I
have
mean,
a good
there's other
time.
stuff to do there. I mean, obviously the bar and pool tables and things like that. So, it's not like it's a total loss if you go and actually don't play the golf. But
Right.
I've heard Top Golf as a concept is really struggling. Like
Really?
they're down system wide like 30% in sales. So I don't know if the novelty's kind of wearing off or whatever, but yeah, they're hurting a little bit from what I understand. So
I mean, it's not a cheap thing to do, so maybe that's more tied to the economy at large, which
could
isn't doing
be,
well. Unless
could
you're
be.
AI, you're doing fantastic. If you're not AI, then you're in the shitter.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think like there was some stat I saw that like the entire U.S. economy right now is being propped up by like 11 different AI companies, and if you take them out of it, no, it's 7 different AI companies. If you take them out of it, then we are at a negative.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I have to maybe figure out some alternatives. Maybe some axe throwing. I've done that in the past. You ever done axe throwing?
I have. Yeah, axe throwing's fun.
Yeah.
I only did it once, but yeah, it was a good time. We did it for a work outing. It was a good time.
Yeah. So maybe I'll look at that as a backup and see how that goes. So, and I think that's my last trip of the year.
Nice.
I was thinking I might make it to Chicago next week or the week after that, but that's not happening. So, um, yeah.
I have to on Tuesday, and I'm just going for the day, but I have to head up to Jackson, Wisconsin, just north of Milwaukee, um, to meet a guy that I'm taking over a bunch of accounts from. So that'll be my first trip to that Cisco warehouse, which will be interesting. I took a new job, started last Monday. Um, so yeah, starting actually technically tomorrow, I'm taking this over, which is interesting because I don't have access to all the software yet. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I'll be headed up to Wisconsin on Tuesday, and then I originally was supposed to go to my office tomorrow, but got a text from my boss earlier today that with all the snow, just work from home. So I'll be working from home tomorrow, which will be nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's kind of adjusting to a new Cisco world for me. So that'll be cool. So far, so good.
That's good. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got trip this week and nothing, and then I'm on vacations for the rest of the year. So I think
Nice.
by the time it's all said and done, I should have 90 flights for the year, and for the total year.
Uh huh.
Um, so we'll see because I don't think I have directs this time
Okay.
to Minneapolis. Normally I can get that, but I think just the timing means I got to run through Atlanta, which is fine. So we'll see. But yeah, about 90 flights on the year.
Now is that typical or is that less or is that more than?
It's a little bit less than last year. So the last couple years, so 2023, I'm looking at my Flighty stats. So if you're a frequent flyer, Flighty app is where it's at. I did 107 flights in 2023,
Okay.
101 in 2024. And then, oh, you know what? I totally forgot. I have another trip. And then I'm off. So I have Minneapolis this week, and I forgot I'm going to Texas next Sunday
Okay.
through Thursday. So that'll be done. So yeah, then I'll be probably about 94 flights because each trip is about 4 flights. Asheville to Atlanta, Atlanta to wherever. And
So
so it's a
that's
double hop.
averaging roughly a flight every 4 days.
Yeah, roughly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I would call a frequent flyer.
Yeah, but it's all domestic stuff. So it's,
Still.
other than when I go to the West Coast, which is a longer flight, it's generally somewhere between 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, but you gotta add in driving to the
Oh, yeah.
airport,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It takes up an entire day. But yeah.
sitting in the airports,
Yeah. Delays.
delays, connections,
Yep.
layovers, all that stuff.
So I
You
have
know,
lost
other idiot travelers that
18
we've
hours
discussed.
from delays so far this year, which is not actually too bad. my delayed flights have averaged 39 minutes. Again, Flighty app is awesome. Compared to last year, 33 hours lost, but that was also including hurricane time. And then 2023 had 14 hours of loss. So, better than last year. Still not as good as you kind of want it to be, but these trips happen where just everything sucks and you got to do what you got to do.
I don't know what's more impressive, that somebody developed an app to keep track of that, or the fact that you have it.
I mean, it's a great app. I mean, there's, for someone who flies a lot, the fact that it keeps track of one, all my stats, but also it's faster than the airline apps telling you when there's delays or gate changes. For whatever reason, like the app publishes it before
the airline
Delta
does.
app does. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I don't know what it is that they're doing, but it's working.
All right.
Yeah.
The Flighty app. All right. Well, for all you listeners out there, download the Flighty app.
Yeah. And Flighty, if you want to sponsor, hit us up.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like $50 a year or something. It's totally worth it for anybody who flies.
Yeah.
More if you fly with any regularity, it's definitely like the iOS app to have for sure.
Well, in your case, that's 50 cents a flight. So yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah. And like I said, I find out about gate changes and delays.
Yeah.
I can see where the flights are before, so I know like, okay, that plane hasn't taken off yet. That's definitely going to be delayed. Just unless they make a change. Just little stuff like that. Plus, it keeps track of like your all-time stats. So I have flown 594 flights so far
since downloading the app.
Since all time. So this goes back to 2010. Because I don't have any records from before 2010.
Well, okay. So
I'm sure I flew before then, but I know I did, but they're just not being counted.
So
I have 594 flights in 15 years.
In 15 years. So, but that tells me that in the last 3 years or so, you've really cranked it up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Big time.
Took on this new role starting in 2022. And plus, we also had the COVID years where nothing happened.
Right. Okay.
So I used to fly 40 times a year, maybe 50. And then COVID hit. So I went from like 2019, I had 46 flights, 2020, 14. And that's when everything shut down, was like in February or March or whatever it was.
Yeah. Right around St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
4 flights, 2022, 67 flights I took on. COVID kind of opened things back up and I took on this new job.
Yeah.
And then 23, 24, and 25. Yeah. More of a road warrior at that point.
Wow. Okay. So you're averaging, right around 100 flights a year now. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll keep up or not. I think it kind of depends on the economy, but yeah. I mean, there's definitely flights I did not take this year that I would have in prior years.
Oh,
like for clients or things like that, where it's just like, yeah, people don't want to spend the money to get out.
Gotcha.
Or I don't want to spend the money to get out there for whatever reason.
Now, but does your company pay for this stuff, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, either company pays or the client pays.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Yeah, somebody's paying for it. It ain't me. I mean, I paid for some of it, like, going international or, personal trips or stuff like that. That's definitely mine. But anything that's company related is.
Now, do you do any of these flights strictly for the podcast?
Rarely.
Or is there a way to tie it into your job?
If it's a work-related event, then yes. The only one that was not really work-related was when I went to Berlin. That was definitely funded by other sources.
Sure.
Yeah. But I turned that into, a week in Amsterdam as well.
And
Bruges and stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, if it's, really when I went to DC a couple weeks ago, that was for a conference, running this kind of game show idea that I've been doing.
Right.
That was small. So it was basically just, me and my co-host from that show. And we went and did our thing and kind of represented our company and recorded a couple episodes there. And that was it.
Yeah. But I was going to say, like, the podcast benefits your company.
Yes.
And
so they're very supportive of what I do in that capacity, as long as it's in North America, I would say.
Sure. And then your company benefits the podcast too, because that kind of fuels it, right? Oh, no?
No.
Okay.
No. No. Not even in the slightest does my company affect the podcast. It's very much a one-sided relationship.
So they basically pimp you out to use the podcast.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a recognizable face in my industry.
Right.
And so that helps me on the business side. It's like, oh, here's this person, blah, blah, blah. They're a quote unquote expert in their field, right? Podcast, blah, 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 whatever.
Now,
But
do they take it? Do you feel that they take advantage of that at all? Or, I mean, if you don't want to
no,
answer,
because it's part of my job is to get
Sure.
that work, right? I mean, that's what I do for a living. The podcast isn't what I do for a living.
Sure. But the podcast
That's something
helps
I'd like to do. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And they pay for all the travel out and stuff like that. So it's kind of mutually beneficial. All right, we'll go out to this conference. Company will pay for it and kind of, cross promote those things and kind of do our thing. Yeah. I mean, as long as it's like I said, as long as it's North America.
That's cool that they allow you to do that.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of companies that be like, hey, you're on our dime. We don't want
we
you
drive
doing
business
anything.
to the company. If we weren't driving business to the company, then
they'd probably shut it down.
Yeah, they would not pay for the travel.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
They couldn't shut it down. I mean, because it's not their...
It's your podcast, but I'm saying
it's not theirs. Right,
they would not participate in or allow you to participate in podcast-related stuff on their dime.
Correct.
Kind of.
I would go do it on my own dime or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. But because we bring in quite a lot of business, actually, they fund it. And
they're probably
it's it.
They're probably like, yeah, keep bringing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've actually doubled down on this year. Like they actually are starting to promote it more internally when they have in the past. So that's fine. Like I said, it's not a job. If it was my sole source of income, we'd be having a different story, but it is not. So I don't make any income at all off the podcast. It's a nonprofit. So all the funding that we get from sponsors or whatever goes to pay for gear, basically to help the podcast kind of run and pay for expenses that I used to pay out of my own pocket for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but now are you breaking even now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're way over. Like we're looking for ways to spend money.
Well, hey, if you need ways to spend money, let's talk up. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, it's a nonprofit, so it has to be like, to the mission, but basically,
no, I know.
Gear, travel. So like when we go to international, so we'll go to Berlin again next year. That's already in the cards.
Yeah.
The podcast will pay for that. So I'll reimburse myself essentially off of that. And we were talking about going to Singapore. I don't know if it'll happen or not because it's weird timing.
Okay.
Because it's in between a Berlin trip, but also a trip to Vegas that we have to make for the podcast and for work, also like a industry conference here.
Sure.
And so I'd be like, basically have to take like 6 weeks off from like my real job as well.
Oh.
Even though one of those is kind of like a work event. Yeah. It would also be like a long time away from like clients and stuff like that. So
gotcha.
Might have to put a pin in that. So we'll see.
Your company be like, all right, we're gonna allow you to do this, but whoa.
Yeah, it's like I do have a real job, and I'm very cognizant of like making sure that it doesn't impact that because that's what actually pays the bills. That's my job. Yeah.
Well, that's cool if they allow you to do that. That's nice.
Yeah, like I said, it's mutually beneficial. Until it's not, I don't see any reason why they would change.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's get back to football for a minute. I mentioned Brock Bowers is affecting
your fantasy team.
So Game of Throws looks like after this week is going to be in first place all by themselves by a game.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what week playoffs start. I don't know where we're at in terms of playoffs. It's pretty close, but I will be 10-3 I have a problem. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who went down with a low ankle sprain on Thanksgiving, and I don't know how long he's going to be out. I am surviving without him this week because the team I was playing basically did nothing. I mean, their quarterback, I forget who it was, had like 7 points. Roma Dunze had like 2 points, that kind of thing. So he just didn't have it, which came at a perfect time because, like, St. Brown gave me nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do to replace St. Brown's production. He's been very good for me. This week, I mean, Bowers is up over 20 points. I have played Jacoby Brissett, and I've gotten 3 weeks, or actually 4 weeks now, of pretty good production from him. Marvin Harrison was out last week, back this week, so that's good. Hunter Henry's kind of been an unsung hero for me because at times I've played 2 tight ends. I played Henry at the flex, and he's come through pretty much every time. Excuse me. I've been back and forth with the Rams and the Broncos defense. They've both been pretty good. So it's been based on the matchup. So most things have gone right, but I have to monitor this St. Brown injury to see if I can find another receiver out there because there's not much available, and it's on my phone. I mean, I would check and see, but I don't want to ruin our connection here. But that's just something I have to watch. But I got to tell you, I haven't played fantasy football since we played in Mike's league. I forget what that league was even called. So this is my first time getting back into it. So being in first place at 10-3 this late in the year, I'm pretty damn proud of myself, especially when my draft was rated a D+.
I was gonna say that's the thing I remember is like, the draft wasn't rated, and you're playing against a bunch of youngsters, right?
Yes. Yes.
You're the old man
I
in
am
the
I
group.
am I am more than twice the age of anybody else in this league.
That's good.
So,
So strike one for all of us.
yes. Yeah, and
What does
remember
your team look like then? Like you don't have any backups to slot in for Amon-Ra?
so I have Harrison, who's usually my other receiver. Like, I'm playing Tony Franklin for the Broncos right now, and he's
Okay.
kind of evolved into Bo Nix's guy, which has been kinda nice. I picked up guys here and there off the waiver wire and have played them and then dropped them and all that kind of thing. Like, when St. Brown and Harrison were both healthy, it was glorious. I mean, it was like, okay, we're rolling on all cylinders. Those guys were the 2 of them were probably worth about 35 to 40 points every week.
Mhm.
But now we've been kind of dodging bullets here.
Yeah.
So I gotta find something. I could go
Okay.
back to playing 3 running backs, but Tony Pollard he's been on my roster the entire year, but he's spent most of the year on my bench.
Well, you
Um,
place for Tennessee, right?
exactly. They suck.
And
I
they don't
have,
have. We're not a powerhouse.
yeah, I have what's his name, Crosby Merritt for Commanders. He's okay. I mean, Javonte Williams and James Cook have been nothing short of awesome all year.
Yeah. Well, James Cook had
Javonte
another
Williams
strong
was,
game today.
yeah, Javonte was a steal. I mean, nobody thought he was going to do much this year, and he's been fantastic. So, and my revolving door of starting quarterbacks has worked out pretty much every time. So, we'll see how long we can run. Right now, I have Brissett and Daniel Jones. Now, Jones has kind of come back to earth, and now that we know he's got the broken leg, may have to explore other options. We'll see. I don't know how long Jacoby Brissett's going to continue to put up numbers, but he throws the shit out of the football for whatever reason. They just don't run the ball that much.
Yeah. Well, they're
So
always losing too, so that helps.
that exactly. So maybe that's why I keep him in there. I don't know.
Yeah. So you don't know how many games are left in the season, or at least till the playoffs start.
I don't. What? There's 5 weeks left. I don't know how many teams make the playoffs. Yeah, I I should know, but I have no idea.
Well, man, that's good. Yeah, you're kind of like the newbie old man stumbling, bumbling
I
through the league.
I concentrate on my lineup.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter who I don't even barely look at who I'm playing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I concentrate on my lineup, getting it in, give me the best chance to win against whoever I'm playing, and let it ride. And that's really all I do. So
You can only control what you can control, and that's it.
exactly. But it's been a blast, and none of these guys have said shit to me because the old man is ruling the league right now. So that's good.
So who's in second place?
Um,
And
actually,
how's
I
your
think
son doing? Because he's also in it, right?
yeah, 2 of my boys are in it. Joshua, I think, is one of the guys that is going to be tied for second. Jeremy had a rough start. That guy has had so many injuries that it's just killed him. But he's won like the last 4 in a row. So he's like 5-8 maybe, or 4-9, something like that. So he's got really no shot at anything. But at one point he was like 1-7. So he's kind of made a comeback of recently, but yeah, he's not going to go anywhere. But there's like 4 teams that were at the top. I mean, there were 4 of us tied for first at one point. Now it went down to 3. 2 of them lost today. And I beat the 4th one, so he's now going to be 2 games back. And I'm going to be the only one at 10-3. So there's going to be 2 9-4s and 8-5, and I'm at 10-3. So good stuff,
Sitting
man.
pretty.
Heck yeah. D+. Justin Fields was my best pick according to Yahoo. So Yahoo, you don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Justin Fields has a better quarterback rating than Caleb Williams this season.
That's fair.
So you got that going for you.
Caleb. How do you fix what he's got going on? How do you fix his problem?
Play calling, just easy passes, scheme your guys open, crossing routes, high percentage, targets, stuff like that, and block.
Yeah.
Like you see lesser quarterbacks, meaning from a talent perspective, with a higher completion percentage.
Yes.
So it's not it's not that he doesn't have the skills for it, but Tyler Huntley in the one game he played was 73%, or 2 games he played was 73%.
Right.
Mac Jones, Sam Darnold are at 70%. Brock Purdy, who I don't think is any physical specimen, is at 68, almost 69%. Spencer Rattler, for as bad as he is at 68%. So, it is, I don't know how you fix it other than, is it play calling and is it just, get the ball out and make quick, easy reads? Now, maybe that doesn't translate to wins, but just throw the ball, make it easy.
Wonder,
some nice, easy pitches and catches.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to take the blame off of Caleb because, yes, he's the one who needs to improve. But I wonder if other teams have the drop issues that the Bears seem to have sometimes. Because a buddy of mine did the math. If you took out every drop that the Bears have made, that would put his completion percentage at 64. Now, I'm not saying 64 is awesome. It's okay. And it would take
64 would be lower middle of the pack.
Right. And it would take every single drop to come out to get it to that point. So I just wonder if the Bears drops are more than other teams. Yet the quarterbacks for the teams have higher completion percentages, including the drops. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, as it stands right now, I'm looking at
the
stats.
It's all relative, right?
It is relative because every team has drops, but it's almost like your record is what you say you are.
Yeah.
Dude's a 58.1% completion on the year, which isn't great. There are 5 quarterbacks that have less than 58.1. 2 of them, one is not, so that he's not starting. He's not supposed to be starting. He's not starting anymore, and he didn't start the year. So you've got Russell Wilson at 58%, Jameis Winston at 56.9%, Joe Burrow at 54.9%, which is kind of like, okay, he's only played 3 games. So
still,
you kind of assume he'll be higher. You got JJ McCarthy at 54.1 and Shedeur Sanders at 41.7.
So none of those guys have played 12 games that Caleb has. None of them.
Right. The closest thing would be Cam Ward at 11 games, who is 59.4, or Trevor Lawrence at 11 games, who is 59.8. Like, that's the type of quarterback we're kind of dealing with. You're in Bo Nix, Joe Flacco, Michael Penix, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward territory with that percentage. And he's the worst of that bunch when it comes to completions.
So we're basically in game manager mode.
Territory. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, for where this team's at, it's working, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But that's not what you don't go draft a game manager quarterback at number 1.
No, you don't. You don't. And like we said earlier, yeah, I think he's the weak link of the team.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he thinks he's the weak link of the team?
Do I think he thinks it?
Yeah. Like, do you think he goes home and thinks, okay, man, we would be so much better if I could just complete a pass? I hope he's not thinking that, but if you look at the team, like,
actually, I hope he does think that, because if he thinks that, he's going to be more apt to work on it.
That's true.
You know, if he doesn't think that, I don't think he would be like, well, we're winning, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
So I kind of hope that I'm not saying I want him to go home thinking, oh my God, I suck. Because I don't think he sucks.
No, I don't think he sucks either.
But yeah, I would hope that he thinks, man, if I could get my shit together just a little bit more, think about where the team would be.
Yeah. Well, what percentage is him? What percentage is first year offense? And what percentage is, the receivers being on the same page with that as well?
Yeah. Because I know you've had a couple of routes that went the wrong way. I know you've had, obviously, the drops. If he could just get to 65. I know we'd love to see the 68, the 70. If he could just get to 65, I think this offense would be it would be a world of, like, a noticeable difference.
Oh yeah. That's what I think is like, that's what I kind of pegged it as, like, they'd have a lot more margin for error.
Yeah.
Right now they've got to basically play perfect games.
Yeah, if he could complete another, based on the same amount of attempts, if he could complete another, say, 5 passes a game, I think that'd make a world of difference, because a lot of these misses are on third down.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Was
You
their drive extender plays, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't all end up in touchdowns, but they might end up in field goals. Points matter. When you're
100%.
+6 on the season, points matter.
Yeah. Think about that. They're +6 points, yet they're 9-3. They're +6 points, yet they're 6 games over 500.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's one of my favorite stats to look at, because it really kind of, by the end of the season, you kind of see which teams are where they need to be. And there's always a couple outliers, but yeah, the Bears are +6. The Buccaneers are 7-5, and they're -22. Carolina Panthers are 7-6, and they're -50. And then you've got the Tennessee Titans, 1-11, they're -158.
Oof.
And the Seahawks are now in first place at +133 at 9-3. So you got Seahawks, Rams, and Colts. They're all over +100, and they're 9-3, 9-3, 8-4.
And the Bears are +6.
Yeah. And so the one team that I kind of picked on earlier this year was the Houston Texans, because they just weren't doing it, but they were still winning the turnover, or winning the plus minus. They're up to 7-5 now. They've won 4 in a row, and they're +65.
Okay.
So they were kind of an outlier in the other way. And then you've got Kansas City, who is 6-6, and they're +73.
So real quick, where are the Patriots and the Broncos?
Let's see. Patriots are 10-2, and they're +92.
Okay.
And the Broncos are 9-2, not including right now. They're up 20-14, and currently at +65.
Okay, so they're significantly in the plus. So
yeah.
So the Bears, I mean, that we've been talking about it up until the Eagles game. They were like the cardiac kids, right? So, when you win games on your last drive, that's what's going to happen. And again, they've got that real stinker against the Lions that they're battling against, where I think they lost what? It was
like they lost like 20 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 50 to something. So,
52-21.
Okay.
They lost by 31.
Yeah, so you're trying to battle back from that. Yeah, but again, 9-3, man. So the only thing that matters is that they're 9-3.
Yeah, but just think how good they could be if they could extend some of those drives. convert some thirds. Just come on, man. Come on, Caleb. Do it. Achieve your destiny. We didn't draft you number 1 to be a sub 60% passer.
I agree. But I think it will get better.
I kind of hope so. I mean, if it doesn't, then do you extend him? If this is what he is, a sub 60 passer who, for whatever reason, has it in him to win games close, do you extend him? Or do you look to upgrade that position just like you did with every other spot?
I think it depends. Yeah, I think it depends on where the team's at. I think it depends on what your needs are outside of quarterback at that point. And I think it also depends on what's available.
So what do you target in the draft next year?
I was just going to ask you the same thing. Well, obviously, I think we can safely say the offensive line is not a need. I mean, you might draft one down at near the bottom or whatever, but you're not looking for a starter. Yeah, I think defensive line is probably their biggest need. Maybe linebacker. They have a pretty crowded secondary with everybody healthy. They do have some contract questions, as I think half the secondary contracts are up at the end of this. The end of this year. Here's the question. If there's a stud running back available, do you take one?
I don't think so.
Is the Swift Monungai combo good enough for you right now?
I think it's good enough, but I also don't think teams should necessarily waste a pick that high on that player. Because running back has become very commodity. Yeah. Running backs are a commodity right now. You end up having to pay them a lot, and they take up a spot that you could have drafted another position for, and you can probably find 80% of what you need as a free agent. Now, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles and you're a running back away from winning the Super Bowl, and you have a chance to go get Saquon Barkley, okay, that's different.
Sure.
But the Bears are not that. As much as I love the running back position, and that's the position I have always been a fan of, I don't think it makes sense to draft highly any of those players.
Okay, now I'll ask you this. What position are they away from winning a Super Bowl right now?
I think they're heavily needing pass rush.
Yeah.
Because the pass rush solves, so the pass defense stuff. They're getting the turnovers, but I feel like you can't count on a team to have 2 turnovers a game.
Right.
That's asking a lot of defense, especially a defense that is just destroyed by injuries at the moment. So I think you go hard on pass rush.
I agree.
And you try to fill in spots. Look, you've got another year or two of Caleb to see how he pans out. And if this is good and they're still winning with him right now, great. That's fine. Running back, commodity, you can go find other players for that. You got Roma Dunze. He's a lock for a starter. I think DJ Moore, you've got him for, I'm not sure how much longer, but fine.
Well,
but you've got Luther Burden ready to step into that role.
I think they extended Moore the year they did Hard Knocks for another 4 years.
Okay. So
he's with them.
You've got receivers locked down.
Right.
You got Luther Burden coming up. You got Colson Loveland coming up. I still think Cole Kmet is good. So you've got kind of like your offense skill position in good state, and they're relatively young, which is good. Offensive line, I know you've got a couple of old hats in there, but I think if you've got an opportunity to improve the offensive line, you always take it. No matter
for sure.
How minute, I would still consider an upgrade over there. And then I would focus hard on defense. Defensive line, linebackers, and I don't think you can ever have enough defensive backs, whether they're a corner or a safety. If they're a ball hawking cover, lockdown cover person, take them.
They need a double-digit sack guy. They haven't had that for a while. And if they got another pass rusher, I think Sweat could be a double-digit sack guy. But And maybe not. Maybe he's the guy that takes up.
I think
that
Montez is the off
Yeah,
is the
he's the
off
off
guy.
guy who could
I don't think
allow
he's a primary.
somebody to be a double digit sack guy. They're gonna have.
I really wish they had made a play for Max Crosby. I would love to see him as a Bear.
Him
but
or Hendrickson or yeah.
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna have a decision make. Nahshon Wright is a free agent at the end of the year.
I think he's played himself into an extension. He's probably played himself into a lot of money. So
exactly. But will the Bears be the ones to pay him? Because Stevenson, and I obviously, JJ is playing the one side. Stevenson is still under contract for another year, maybe 2, depending on his rookie, because he's still on a rookie deal.
Mhm.
Does he start, or does Nahshon Wright start? You're not benching Jalen Johnson, obviously.
Yeah, and you still have C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the mix.
He's another one. You bring
and
him
Kyler
back.
Gordon.
Gordon got extended, so he comes back. Byard, his contract is done at the end of this year. Do you bring him back?
Yeah, I don't know. This is where Ryan Poles makes his money, right? He's got to make his decisions and figure out how to work the cap.
Yeah, to make. So we'll see.
But I still think it doesn't alter the strategy for defense. I think you go hard on defense in the draft and you try to find playmakers.
Yes, I agree.
I think they've got a little bit of runway though, so they can maybe take some development. But I would sure love to see a double-digit sack guy, like you said. Later in the draft. Yeah. Go get the best pass rusher you can find. If it means trading draft capital for, a relatively, youngish defensive lineman, go for it.
See, now, coming into this year, I would have said no to that. But now, they're in a position to where, okay, now maybe we could look to trade away draft picks for talent now. Because they're obviously closer, and as contracts start to, get older and guys get older. And I mean, yeah, you're right. The offensive line, I mean, Tooney's not a young guy. He's a stud, but how much longer is he going to play? Wright's, Darnell Wright's young, Trapillo's young. They signed Dolman for 3 years. I think they extended Jonah Jackson to 3 years, but still, I mean, you still, I think, draft for depth on your offensive line because God forbid one of those guys goes down.
I was going to say an injury. There's not much behind them.
Right.
Or really on anybody other than wide receiver. I think you've got three good players between
for sure.
Dunze, DJ Moore, and Luther Burton. And you've actually got 2 tight ends, between Loveland and Kmet, but the injuries are the thing that will kill your team right now. Caleb goes down, who knows? Tyson Bagent might be okay right now because I don't think he's a superstar either. He's not as good.
He's not a superstar. I don't think Bagent, though, would kill you.
I don't think it would kill you, but I think if they lost like offensive linemen, they would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because Tyson Bagent doesn't have the escapability that Caleb does.
Yeah.
But he's probably a lot more accurate. I think Tyson, we saw it in the preseason. I think Tyson sits in the pocket a lot better and a lot easier than Caleb does right now. But when he played, he's playing against second stringers and third stringers and all that kind of stuff. So, if he was playing against first string, might be a different story. I don't know. Hopefully we'd never have to find out.
Let's see. So for next year, you've got a few unrestricted free agents. You got Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals. You've got Jalen Phillips on the Eagles. You've got Khalil Mack. To bring Khalil Mack back.
Yeah, I don't know. He's getting up there.
He is. Hassan Reddick, Jadeveon Clowney, Samson Epugam.
Clowney, no, thank you.
I mean, there's no real big names here.
Hendrickson's probably the biggest name of that group.
Yeah.
And it's if I recall, The Bengals are paying him $30 million this year.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
So he's going to get 35, 40 million on the open market?
Probably 35, roughly.
People will overpay.
Yeah, exactly. I think you try and find it in the draft.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind signing Khalil Mack, though, if he comes in at a decent price. Because he can still be effective.
Oh, for sure. I'm just trying to think what that would cost you. 20? Is he a $20 million player still?
I'm not sure. Who knows?
I definitely think you'd try and look for one in the draft. And they'll be there. They'll be there. It's just a matter of with the Bears record, you have to remember they're going to be drafting further down, most likely. And unless they are willing to trade up, which is possible. Because we're at the point. We were talking last year that the Bears needed almost everything, and now there are things that they honestly don't need. They don't need a receiver. I would say they don't need a starting receiver. They don't need a starting offensive lineman. They don't necessarily need a running back. They don't necessarily need a starting defensive back. They need healthy linebackers, but hopefully they'll have that next year. So the only thing they need hardcore is a pass rusher. So
go get it.
Yeah, I agree. Go find one.
Well, I just asked the FOJ Sports Machine to go make a trade for the Chicago Bears to bolster their pass rush.
Ooh, okay. What does the Sports Machine have to say?
Yeah. So the Sports Machine says, go get Max Crosby. Sends a 2026 first round pick and a 2026 third round pick to the Raiders.
If that's all it would take, I would drive to the airport myself to pick up Max Crosby. If that's all it would take, I would drive to Vegas to go pick him up.
Yeah. So that's the target. Would be go get Max Crosby.
For a first and a
try
third,
and get Myles Garrett.
Oh,
kind of pry him away from Cleveland.
Oh man, I wonder what that would cost.
Well, let's see. Let's ask the FOJ Sports
and I'm
Machine
sure
to see what it would take to get Myles Garrett.
His contract's a lot.
He's let's see. Max Crosby, I think, is like $25 million.
Okay.
And I don't know what Myles Garrett makes, but yeah, probably a lot.
I bet it's more than that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the AI super agent of FOJ Sports Machine thinks.
I would think Myles
determining
Garrett
trade value right now.
I would think Myles Garrett would take multiple number ones.
How old is Myles Garrett? He's not young.
No, he's got to be pushing 30.
Yeah. So how much longer can he be effective? Do you go get a player like that knowing that you've probably got maybe 2 to 3 years left at his peak?
Well, are the Bears in win now mode suddenly?
Oh, he's making $40 million a year. so Trey Hendrickson is going to make 45 or 50 million on a year. He's the highest paid non-QB in history through 2030. So acquiring him, and I quote, the AI says, requires a historic Godfather offer.
Yeah, he might be out of their price range.
Yeah. Now, Browns have a salary cap problem. They're going to have the lowest cap space in the league for next year, and they might be looking at a potential roster reset anyway. So, that's really the only leverage point that makes this trade possible. So here's the trade proposal: the King's ransom package. Chicago Bears acquire Myles Garrett, and in exchange, we send them 2026 first rounder, 2027 first rounder, 2026 second rounder, and Gervon Dexter Sr.
So two
first rounders,
a
a second rounder,
and Dexter.
and Dexter. You send them your first and second next year, and the year after that.
Okay, that's a total go for it move.
That is we're swinging for the fences.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. If he's going to be in the fold till 2030, and he could give you, what, 13, 14 sacks a season, maybe even more? Yeah.
Problem for this is that the Bears' salary cap.
That's the thing.
So Garrett's contract averages $40 million, and so the Bears would have to restructure a ton of salary or cut veterans. And the only way this works is because Caleb is still on a rookie contract.
Right.
This is the only time they can afford to pay somebody that is this next 2 to 3 years, wherever that is.
Okay, well, you're proving that you can win without TJ Edwards. Mm-hmm. So you could cut him, no problem. He was a big-time free agent. You've now won 2 games without Tremaine Edmonds, another high-paid linebacker. I don't know how much those guys make a year, but it's a fair amount. So there's 2. Could you trade DJ Moore for draft capital coming back to maybe recoup? So I'm not saying you get your first round pick, but maybe give you something to give you some later picks to turn into a first round pick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if
what is the sweet spot here? I mean, for any team to receive 2 first round picks and a second, that's like, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Especially for a team like Cleveland that they suck.
Right.
And so having Myles Garrett on their team is really the only reason they're competitive right now, is because he's such a strong defender, but opens up some more things for them on the defense.
If you were able to say you cut Edwards, you cut Edmonds, you're somewhat happy with the linebackers you have. Obviously, you go linebacker in the draft as well, maybe 2 of them. And you were able to trade DJ Moore. Would you make those 3 moves if you knew that would get you Myles Garrett?
Again, it would depend on the finances and who's going, but yeah, I'm inclined
I would
to
too.
it.
I would too.
So I'm going to ask the AI what Bears contracts he would restructure, it would restructure or cut, and we can figure it out from there.
Because we're seeing DJ Moore is not really the focal point of the offense. He's part of it, but he's not nearly as big a part of it as he used to be.
Right.
And I think his extension was like 4 years for over $100 million. So he's making $25 million a year himself.
Yeah, which for me makes him movable.
Exactly.
Problem is somebody else has to want to pick up that salary.
Yeah, true. And then maybe, you go find another young receiver in the draft.
Mm-hmm. So we need to clear $25 million in cap space if we don't do an immediate extension. So cut Tremaine Edwards. That's $15 million right there.
TJ or Edmonds? Which one?
Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay.
Cut DeAndre Swift. That's $7.5 million.
And draft a running back. Okay.
Yep. Restructure DJ Moore. Try to get him down.
Okay.
And restructure Montez Sweat. And if you still need to restructure Jalen Johnson and cut Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is $8.4 million.
Are you willing to do all that for one guy?
Let's see. You drop Edmonds, you drop Swift. Those are really the only ones that you have to drop to make this work.
Do you think all of those guys would do that if they know Myles Garrett's coming to town?
Yeah.
Through 2030.
Well, no. I don't know. I don't know if they would or not, because the NFL is very much, go get your bag.
Yeah, right.
Which is fine, right? I mean, they've gotten that position to earn it, but still, I don't know.
Is Myles Garrett worth all that if you're the Bears?
I mean, if you're going all in, sure.
Yeah.
He's still under contract for 5 more years. So you've got, 4 years of playtime with him.
Is he better than Parsons from pass rush standpoint?
I don't know, but he's older. I know that much.
He's a little bit older.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who you consider the best pass rusher in the league right now. I mean, Garrett is probably in the top 3 with Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, I don't know, Hutchinson for Detroit or Crosby. I don't know.
Why not? Why not do it?
Hey,
you just wait until the right time. You're going to miss the windows.
Yeah, I'd love to see them go for it. I mean, hey, if they swing and miss, I get it, but I would love to see them swing and just be like, you know what? Screw it. We're going for it now. Our team's 9-3. However they finish this year, off season, they finally say, you know what? We're maybe a year, maybe 2 ahead of schedule, but damn it, we're here. Let's not wait. Let's do it now. I would love to see that. Hope. Maybe
you're not going to be able to do it in 2 to 3 years when Caleb Williams is going to command a whole bunch of money.
That's right.
Unless you think you're going to start over and Caleb Williams isn't the answer.
Maybe. Or they just think, hey, we could do that with any quarterback. Or not any quarterback, but we could draft somebody, bring him in here. The rest of the team's ready to go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I'd like to see them go solve their defensive line. Go get.
Yeah, I do too.
Go in.
I think it depends on how they finish out the year. It's like, okay, I think they're going to get into the playoffs. If they get a playoff win, maybe 2, and they realize, hey, we're this close, then I think they maybe explore a move like that. If they get the playoffs and then bow out after the first game or whatever, then it might be stick to the plan and, yeah, we got here, but we still have more room to grow. So
yeah, but what is the plan? For next year, it's still got to be the same thing. Fix the defense.
Yeah. But it's like, how extreme do you go?
Go all in, baby.
I hope so. Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. So.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else other than unabashed joy and confusion at the Chicago Bears being number 1.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because we're kind of in uncharted waters here.
Yeah,
it's like,
what do we do now?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of like, like you're on TV. It's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're here. We didn't expect to be here. We had hoped to be here, but we're actually here. So where do we go? But I'll tell you what. I will say this though. I mean, I don't. Are you in with what's going on, like all the locker room stuff after the games?
So I did see that Ben finally took his shirt off, and the city of Chicago is getting hot dogs. So
yes,
and I did see the sign, Mayor Johnson, from the Wiener Circle. So yeah,
I gotta tell you, I'll admit, after the Bears win every time, it's like, okay, Give me the post game. Give me the locker room.
Yep.
I got to see it.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, what's neat to see is this team, for whatever it is, the team itself is all in. They love this dude, this coach. I mean, I'm just thankful they finally got the coach right, because we've had a long list of coaches here, long time, and I'll say it. I think this dude's the best coach since Ditka already.
What a year. What a difference 1 year makes, right? So
Yeah.
the Bears got rid of their last coach last Black Friday, and here we are celebrating them going into Philadelphia and kicking the shit out of the Eagles.
Out of the Super Bowl champs in Philadelphia.
Like I said, manslaughter, abuse, of that offensive line and tight ends and everyone blocking in that run game against the world champs.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's none of us predicted this. Nobody.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the Chicago Bears the FOJ listener of the week.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's been fun to watch. That's all I'll say. It has been awesome.
And when we started talking about the Bears, really kind of late preseason, I said I don't care about the preseason, right? I just want them to be competitive and be entertaining to watch, and they're doing it.
We're there. Yeah, we're there. So I don't know if expectations have changed, but hey, the results are what they are, and we're not just in the hunt anymore. We're, for now, at the top, and it's awesome. It's cool.
Yeah, I'll take it.
With room to grow, with room to improve.
Yeah, and it's kind of like they haven't even really hit their stride yet.
No, I think they haven't really scratched the surface offensively as to what they could do.
Yeah, but the NFL has a way of catching up to offenses, and so the window to do it is not very long.
No,
right? As creative as you want to be, someone will figure out how to stop this team.
Somebody is going to say, like you said, we're going to stack 8 in the box, and we're going to make Caleb Williams beat us. And while, he's come back in the fourth quarter and, has played really well for a drive or two, it's, can Caleb put 4 quarters of quality football together for himself?
I just want to see a game that was never in doubt.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like no matter how far ahead that they're getting or how well they're playing, it's like, okay, let's not have a heart attack fourth quarter, please.
Yeah, I want to see the Dallas game again. I want to see the Dallas game consistently. That's what I want to see. Yeah. And hopefully we see it at the right time. Hey, Ben promised that they would be playing their best football in December. Well, December's here, so let's see it.
All right, well, yeah. Put up or shut up time, Ben.
That's right.
Don't make me come out there.
That's right. Let's put the shirt back on and let's get back to work.
Yep.
So,
did you have a chance to check out Irving Force?
I did.
And what'd you think?
I did. Yeah, definitely. It was as you described. I believe a little industrial, a little heavy metal. It was loud. There was a lot to it.
Yeah. A lot of layers.
A lot of layers. A little video game-ish for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool. Definitely cool.
Okay. Well, that's been my jam for the last week or so. So been going down the Irving Force rabbit hole on my Apple Music.
I could see that being like a stress reliever type thing.
Yeah.
That's a headbanger.
Yeah.
For sure.
Always looking for something new. Any day that I can find a new artist to explore, I'm happy with. So
I like it.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, it is 11 o'clock. We have
it's
one day in the office before I hit the road for the week and then come back Friday.
Nice.
And then we'll have to play it by ear. I think next Sunday I'll be in Grapevine, Texas. So We can maybe see how that works out from a timing perspective. But hopefully by this time tomorrow or this time next week, let's see who they play. They play Packers next?
I think it's the first of the 2 Packers games next week, and I forget if it's at home or
they're at Green Bay.
Oh.
Yep.
Hey,
4:25 PM.
Caleb's 1-0 in Green Bay. He owns Green Bay in Green Bay.
Okay.
And they're already 1-0 in 2025 against the Packers. So, hey, last game of the year last year was in January in Green Bay, and they won.
All right. Well, hopefully by the time we talk next, we'll be celebrating a victory finally over Green Bay. Not finally, but you know what I mean? Like Green Bay's had their number for a very long time. And Green Bay is still really good.
They are good, but Jordan Love is capable of a stinker every once in a while.
He is.
And I think they're going to need that to win.
And how do you create stinkers? With pass rush.
That's right.
So get the pass rush solved.
Pass rush and turnovers. They seem to get one. We just need the other. So hopefully they play well. So cool, man.
All right, man. I will talk to you next week then, if not sooner.
Sounds good.
And keep an eye out for those Sora videos between Chad and I that you're in the thread.
That was
and apparently we've got
funny.
Mari involved with that one too. So
yeah,
I sent you an invite. So if you want to play around with it, you can.
I will. Yeah, those were solid. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, all right, man.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Safe travels. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.